Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the closing symposium of the MIGRATE Jean Monnet network. MIGRATE is a project which is co-financed by the European Commission, and it looks at the impact of the post-2014 migrant crisis, or what we call migrant crisis, on the countries on the Balkan corridor, the framework within which they form their policies, and the impact that this has on EU policy formation and the EU integration project as a whole. This relationship between these countries and the EU is conditioned by the degree of integration they have. So we're talking about EU members and candidate countries. We view the migrant crisis not as a crisis per se only, but as a trigger of already existing crises, notably the Eurozone crisis and the crisis of democracy. So in this project, we see how the migrant crisis actually impacts on enlarging, on unearthing this already existing crisis. The case of the Balkan corridor showcases that the degree of integration and solidarity among EU member states is not as deep and strong as we would expect it to be. A lack of a common EU policy and the reluctance of part of EU member states to give away some of their sovereignty in order to put together a common policy in order to manage the migrant crisis has showcased actually how deep this split is. The main parameters setting the frame have been securitization of the migrant crisis, as well as its use in popular discourse. So we're talking about the rise of populism here. MIGRATE uses as case studies countries on the Balkan corridor, spanning from Turkey to Greece to North Macedonia, Serbia, Hungary, and Germany. And we also see the impact on the policies at the Western Balkan integration level as well as the EU level. Now, obviously, managing the migrant crisis has been a major test to EU integration and enlargement, as core values related to human rights, solidarity, etc., and burden sharing, which goes with solidarity, have been sidelined in favor of renationalizing policies, border security, as well as outsourcing of crisis management in the EU periphery. So in the process, what we have actually discovered is that core principles of the EU, like strengthening of democracy locally, have been short-circuited. So the project partners of MIGRATE include the University of Bilkent in Ankara, Navarino Network in Thessaloniki, the University of St. Cyril and Methodius in North Macedonia, the University of Belgrade in Serbia, the Central European University in Hungary, the University of Graz in Austria, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung in Germany, and the University of Sheffield in the UK. Plus, the Southeast European Research Center, which heads the consortium and the project. You could follow us on the MIGRATE project website, where you can find deliverables like our book, which you can see here, and you can download it, a policy paper that will be uploaded, including videos, opinion editorials, and so on. Another part of the deliverables of the project is a Routledge book, which will be published in 2020 with the title Migration, EU Integration and the Balkan Route. Thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you will enjoy the presentations that are coming up from our partners. So I'll come to you.